Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all. What's going on? Shawn Showtime Porter, to me right now is really allowing a huge opportunity to slip away. I really feel like he's allowing a chance to, get back on top, become a champion again, a 3-time champion, and really get back to exactly where he wants to be, in this division, in the 147-pound division. I know Shawn Porter thinks a lot of himself, as he should. He's been in there with the best. He's fought damn near everybody you can think of. He deserves to get the respect that he's getting. And honestly, I feel like Shawn Porter is very underrated, as a fighter. However, he has an opportunity to make the best out of his current situation, and I don't think he's actually making the best out of it. Here, for example, Shawn Porter is, ranked amongst the top welterweights in the game. Now, he just had, which was probably, if not his best performance in a loss, one of his best performances of his career versus Errol Spence Jr. Great fight, fight of the year candidate, amazing action-packed toe-to-toe fight, unification match with the best fighter in the division, widely considered the best fighter in the division in Errol the True Spence Jr. Now, he had a great fight with Errol Spence, looked good, lost his belt. Now, you look at a situation like this, Errol Spence, after winning that fight, said that he wouldn't mind a rematch with Shawn Porter, but with him losing all the time that he lost, he was supposed to fight right again in January of 2020, but of course he had the accident in October after the Shawn Porter fight. So he lost a lot of time. Now, instead of trying to go after Shawn Porter rematch, he's looking more so trying to unify so he can go ahead and get undisputed and get up out of 147. Because like he said, he don't plan on leaving 147 until he's undisputed. And he already been having trouble staying down at a close enough weight to be able to make 147 comfortably. So his priority right now is becoming undisputed. He also has mandatory obligations for the IBF and the WBC. So a rematch with Shawn Porter is not necessarily on the top of his list of things to do, opponents to fight. It's really not at the top of his list. So if Shawn Porter is waiting for an Errol Spence rematch, he gonna be waiting forever because it might not even happen at 147. They might have to do that at 154. So, okay, next option, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had the opportunity to fight for a title shot. He had the opportunity to fight Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, or Terrence Crawford. He chose Keith Thurman for good reason. Terrence Crawford, Shawn Porter, and Errol Spence, I think all three of them beat Manny Pacquiao. Styles make fights. All three of those guys going to put tremendous pressure on Manny Pacquiao, and they're not going to let Pacquiao off the ropes like Keith Thurman did, which they knew that Keith Thurman would be passive versus Manny Pacquiao. They saw that in Keith Thurman. They saw stylistically that Pac-Man will have the best chance out of those 4 champions to beat Keith Thurman. That's why they picked Keith Thurman. I don't take nothing away from Manny Pacquiao from that win because he still beat a prime fighter, undefeated, a fighter that's 15, 20 years younger than him. He still beat a top guy. But it was a very strategic pick to take Keith Thurman as opposed to Terrence Crawford, Shawn Porter, or Errol Spence. So you can forget about a possible payday or fight versus Manny Pacquiao, Shawn Porter. Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight you. So you can forget about that. Your only other option is the guy that you claim to be your best friend, something nobody knew about y'all friendship until it came time for y'all to possibly fight each other. You know what I'm saying? So Terrence Crawford acting friendly towards Shawn Porter acting friendly towards Terrence Crawford. Neither one of these guys want to aggressively go after each other for a fight. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of these guys want to press each other for a fight. I guarantee you, if Shawn Porter makes it his business to call out Terrence Crawford every opportunity he get, to chase Terrence Crawford down and corner him and say, look, you know, call and make a deal over the phone, whatever y'all got to do. Look, I want this fight. If every time a camera was in front of Shawn Porter, the same way he talk about Errol Spence, the same way he talk about Manny Pacquiao, if he was talking about Terrence Crawford like this, I guarantee you those guys, Bob Arum, Terrence Crawford, they whole camp over there, they wouldn't have no choice but to pursue the Shawn Porter fight. That fight would get made. You know what I'm saying? I know Terrence Crawford been acting friendly towards Shawn Porter. He been mentioning everybody's name but Shawn Porter. But I can't just put it all on Terrence Crawford because Shawn Porter doing the same thing. I mean, Shawn Porter at least entertaining the idea of a possible fight with Crawford. Crawford act like he don't want nothing to do with Shawn Porter when it come to fight. But both of them still on some friendly shit. Both of them still like, okay, you know, we got to have a talk. You know, Terrence Crawford was supposed to meet me in Vegas before the pandemic lockdown happened, you know, but then right before he was about to get on his flight, the pandemic lockdown happened and now we can't have a meeting. I can't call him on the phone and talk about it. Like, come on, man. Like, it's too much friendly shit going on between these two, but Shawn Porter is letting a big opportunity slip between his fingers. Next thing you know, Terrence Crawford gonna end up getting a Kell Brook fight or somebody else, maybe your Dennis Ugas, which both of those fights are very good fights. But obviously, outside of Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, the best matchup is Shawn Porter and Terrence Crawford. It's a win-win situation. If Shawn Porter win, you gonna be a champion. Now that puts you in line to fight Errol Spence again for unification, for undisputed. It puts you in line to possibly fight Manny Pacquiao. If Terrence Crawford wins, now you have a legitimate elite welterweight on your resume. Your name grows even bigger. Your validity as the best welterweight in boxing, you have validity, you can say that now. You can say you at the top. You can say that your resume somewhat matches up with Errol Spence. Now you got a common opponent. If you beat Shawn Porter in more dominant fashion than Errol Spence did, then now you can use that on your resume. That's something that, you know, that you can use as a bargaining chip to get the money that you feel you deserve in an Errol Spence fight. If you want 50-50, now you can say, okay, we dominated Shawn Porter, you didn't, so we deserve 50-50. You know, it's a win-win situation. And also that fight would help Terrence Crawford prepare for Errol Spence. Not to say that Shawn Porter and Errol Spence have similar styles, but the fact that this would be by far the best matchup, the best opponent that he's faced in his whole career, it would kind of get him more battle tested to go against somebody like Shawn Porter before you face Errol Spence. You dig what I'm saying? Errol Spence done already been through the fire and is about to continue to go through the fire, whether he fight Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao on his return, Yordenis Ugas, whoever it may be. Most of us assume that it's going to be Danny Garcia, which is a big test, especially coming off of his situation. So Errol Spence is battle tested, and he gonna continue to get sharper and get better and get stronger. So this is a prime opportunity for Terrence Crawford as well. It's a win-win, but I'm not even gonna put this on Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna put this on Shawn Porter because he ain't applying no pressure. You chasing behind Errol Spence, you know that fight ain't happening. You chasing behind Manny Pacquiao, you know they don't want to fight you. You need to be going after Terrence Crawford with everything you got and call Bob Arum's bluff. Point blank, period. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender regime, boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.